Good day and welcome to Model Kit Beginner. Hope you guys are all doing well, as do I. The weather improved in Cape Town. It seems the rain and the cold is over for the time being, which is very, very nice. And today we're going to have a look at the Benz 450 SLC. It's not a kit I've heard a lot about. Maybe not a kit you have heard a lot about. But it's certainly a car which in my youth I always thought this is one of the greatest Mercedeses of all time. Looks sleek, looks fast standing still. It has some elegance with it. Just apart from the pagoda roofed ones, I think this was one of the more beautiful modern Mercedeses around. And this kit has been kicking around for a while, and I thought the history is maybe checkered is the right word. So let's have a look and see what that is all about. Now, before we do that, please do not forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and you make sure that you don't miss any of the kit reviews. Right, I'll see you in the history section. Right, and here we are with the 477 Benz 450 SLC. Beautiful car. This particular kit had got a new box in 2001, and according to the product timeline, not necessarily the history, it's the product timeline, the Otaki kit from 1977 was the very first kit, and you can see the boxes are hardly different, and that's it. And then this one came out in 2001. But if we look at the extended history, we look mid-70s. I mean, and this is a 77 Mercedes, so how it came out in 1976, who knows? It looks slightly different. Lights, for example, look different. Right, and then 1977 we have the Otaki kit, but we also have Revell involved here, SC involved here. Obviously deeply, we have Monogram involved here, we have Ganze Sangyo involved here, so it's all very, very interesting. And then obviously once we get a little bit further, we even go to this one here, which I'm sure you have seen kicking around at your model shop not too long ago, maybe still kicking around there, the 450 SLC from ARII. Is that the same kit? I don't know. I never owned the 450 SLC from ARII. I only own this one. So let's look into that. And if you own the 450 SLC or any of the other 450 kits from which we have just seen, which is not from Otaki, please do let me know, and let me know if your kit or your box has the same sprues inside it as mine. What sprues would that be? Well, we will go down to the bench and have a quick look. I'll see you there. So here we are with the box of the 77 Benz 450 SLC. It says a world famous historic car, and it gives you the Owners Club badge right over here. So that's pretty much the same on this side, on this side. Here on this side it gives you an idea of some other cars like the famous Toyota 2000 GT, the Mark II Toyota, and the beautiful Skyline right over here. But we obviously having a look at the Mercedes. Now let's open this up. Nothing at the bottom. No, nothing. Let's open this up. Here we go. We have the rather thin instruction sheet. We have a bag full of plastic parts. Right over here we have a body and more plastic parts. Here we go. And we have an extra piece of paper. Tells you be cautious as follows when using dry batteries. So this was probably a battery model. Here we go. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Right. Having said that, I don't see decals or any of that. No, nothing. It doesn't come with decals, it appears. Right, but it does come with, there's an instruction sheet, which you can see right over here. Here it tells you what is in the box, and there are tires, doors, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I don't see a decal sheet. Nope, no decals on that one. Not even the 450 SLC. Maybe it's one of the. Remember the one which we had not too long ago, where you had to cut out the registration plate out of the instruction sheet? Maybe it's one of those. Anyway, there it goes. So that obviously was where the switch was, battery was. So that's what it was. It is an X battery model. Here you put together the suspension. Here we go. The engine, so it's not a curbside, it has a real engine. Here we go. That's pretty cool. Right. And then engine end, interior end, oh, that's all seems to be one piece. Then we have the dashboard. B14, B13, B9. Doesn't give us a color call out. Don't suppose that would be the color call out, or that. I don't know. What I can see, for us who do not read Japanese, there is no color call out. Put them all together right over here. Nothing fancy. Oh, it looks like it has opening doors. Look here. Certainly has an opening bonnet. Looks like they do opening doors as well, so that's pretty interesting. And why not? And then you put everything together. Quite a few parts to be assembled here. Rear lights, and that's it. That's it. No final photo. No nothing. It's all very, very basic, really. And that doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means it's basic. So let's get this open and see what we are having here. Lots of stuff, it appears. Everything, even the transparent stuff is in one, all in one bag, which means chances of it scratched up pretty good. So let's have a look at the tire while we have them here. Come on, tire, don't be like that. Here we go, we made it out. Right, now, these tires have something which lots of the other manufacturers don't have, as you can see. It's a custom tire from Goodyear. It has Goodyear branding on it. Very, very nice. Let's go a bit closer so you can see it. Here you go. Not bad, huh? Not bad. It also has a tread. It also has a huge, huge seam in the middle, which obviously you need to take care of. And we have another custom G800 branding, Goodyear branding on this side. They are relatively flexible enough for it to be put over the wheel. Once you have painted and glued the wheels, that shouldn't be an issue. Then the transparent parts, which we just have a look here over here. You see the windows, and there are nothing to write home about. Nothing at all. What can do with a little bit of a polish up, and obviously having them all in the same bag as the rest of the plastic parts, that's not fun. And here you have the iconic Mercedes rear lights right over here. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Then we have the hood right over here. Very little flash, I might say, and the outer door skins right there. Looks pretty good, pretty sharp, not too bad at all for the age. We have interior, and as you can see, everything is molded in. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. Then we have the battery flap quite clearly right over here. Suspension parts, which you can see over here, the fan, and more suspension parts over here. Quick look at the chrome parts. Here we have the chrome grille, nothing particularly detailed here. We have the wheels, and the wheels are at least, you know, see-through, so that's pretty good. So it's not one solid piece of plastic. And the chrome doesn't look too thick. It's a bit on the shiny side, but yeah, I've seen a lot worse. And yeah, you might get away with touching up here and not having to repaint everything. That's pretty cool. And you build your bumpers out of several parts, so it's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, that's for sure. Then we have this one, which has the dashboard, which of course we're gonna have a look at, and that's not a bad dashboard. And it has molded in gauges, obviously, because as we all know, there is no decals with this. This part, we have this, which I would assume is the radiator, the engine, very rudimentary, I must say. All the belts right over here, and some other parts right over here. Air filter with the Mercedes logo, steering wheel right over there, and some more front suspension parts. And then last, but certainly not least, we have a look at what is in this baggie. We have the bottom right over here. Here you go. It's all very rudimentary right there. See, that's supposed to be the oil pan. Then we have doors inners right over there. That actually has a bit of a texture to it. And then the other two door parts, which helps you to open and close the door. Huge plastic pins right over there. And then last but not least, oh, look at that. Look what's going out here. There are some decals. Yeah. Not quite sure what I'm supposed to do with that. Very interesting. You can possibly put bends on the registration plate or something, but yeah, otherwise, none of that really usable. Then we have a look at the body, around most important part. And let me just tell you that it is more than just a little tender loving care. You need to clean it up very nicely, but be very careful that you do not delete any of these body lines, because that you don't want to do. Here we go, the huge opening. It has a support here in front, which make sure that the A-pillars don't collapse, which is very good. Some others don't necessarily have that. And yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, the form itself looks pretty authentic. And then we have the 450 SLC there at the back, which you can then pick out for yourself. And that's about it. So yeah, it is a interesting sharp edges kit, so that certainly needs some tender loving care, but not as bad as we have seen before. Don't get me wrong, plastic is very hard, so yeah, you need to be very careful there that you don't break it if you mistreat it. That of course you don't want to do. Right, and that's about it as far as the 450 SLC is concerned. It's a interesting kit, coming from the era when these battery cars were very, very popular. And so I would suggest let's go back upstairs and I'll give you my final thoughts. See you there. Right, and here we are back upstairs with the 77 Benz 450 SLC. Well, what can I say? It's actually not, obviously it's a very basic kit. It was one of those battery cars, but the body doesn't look bad. It does look authentic. The engine is very poorly detailed, so probably don't even worry about having the hood opened. You probably can glue it in and just forget about the engine. Let's be honest here. Doors, you can have them open if you want to. Not quite sure I'm going to go for that. But otherwise, looks a very nice kit. Couple of sharp edges, couple of seams. So certainly needs a cleanup of an older kit, of a mid-70s kit. So what that can be expected. Couple of sharp edges on the body, etc. But otherwise, not too bad. Decals, well, you can basically forget about them. There's those 450 SLC, which you see here in front of the package, that not even those are in there. So, yeah, those decals don't mean anything. Right, but apart from that, not a bad kit. Certainly a very nice subject, if you like these kind of mid-70s Mercedes. Well, thanks very much for popping in. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll pop my link of my Facebook page in the description. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again a little later, probably next week. All the best for the rest of the week, and greetings from Cape Town. Cheers.